Hi guys. Hi. Mic check. Guy, the mic is on. Yeah, the mic check. 1 2 1 2. Mics is on. Mics is on. I'm going outside to play with the other kids, and I need to come here and make a quick vlogtober video. Before I step out, I have just done my Maybelline Superstay Skin Tint. This is what I use instead of foundation, and then after that I'm gonna be using this. I just like to do this on these like problematic areas. Sio hii ni hii hapa Maybelline come to the front. Maybelline ebu come to the front. Maybelline, please sponsor me, guys. I really love your products. You guys are amazing. Na nimewa DM, please. You guys able put my name out there for brands that you think will align with me. You know, the power of the people. Anyways, I want to talk to you guys quickly about something. When do you know when to leave? When to leave a job sana sana, but this can also apply to relationships and friendships and partnerships, really, in general. While we talk, I'm gonna do this nude eyeshadow. When do you know when to leave? I wrote some points down and I wrote them kitambo. This I wrote in January, 4th January of 2025. 2025. Okay, number one, when the cons outweigh the pros. This is not the brush for eyeshadow. This is this one. When the pros out when the cons outweigh the pros. When the cons outweigh the pros, baby, you need to get to stepping. I don't care how much these people are paying you. If they're treating you badly, you need to get to stepping. Like, you know, you should know your rights. And I think it's about time people in employment read the Kenya labor laws. I, for a long time, didn't read the Kenya labor laws. I read them recently when I needed to read them. So, read them before you need to read them higher. If you think your rights are being violated in any way, your contract will protect you. And if your contract has some holes, like it's outdated, it's not signed, it's not honored, then you rely on the Kenya labor laws. Yeah. Moving on swiftly. When do you know when to leave a job? When your self-esteem starts plummeting. That's my second point that I wrote. When it starts affecting your self-esteem. Like, sometimes the environment you work in can be a very terrible environment, and sometimes it's very hard to know that you're working in a very bad environment, because sometimes you think it's in your head. Sometimes unaweza fikiria you're overreacting, because not sometimes, more often than not, they'll gaslight you into thinking that you're the problem. Yeah, so sometimes it's like you bring forth a complaint, especially to those big companies. When you're on HR is never there to protect the employee. HR is there to protect the organization. Okay, I know that because I did a minor in HR when I was doing an undergraduate, and I've actually served as a HR actually for a long time, because I was serving as everything, right? So HR is there to protect the organization, not you. So when you start feeling like your self-esteem is being poked at by comments, by things that are being done, by just the general, like if there's some just unajua saa ingine organizations zingine like mko kwa ofisi, the ofisi imejaa uoga, like you don't feel like you can be yourself there. You have to walk on eggshells. Nini, far be it that you can't really be your true self at work. You have to be your professional self at work. But if you feel like it's just like every day, like unatafutiliwa makosa, and you know, hata kama you're such like a bad employee aje, even a broken clock is right twice a day. There's some things that you will do right, but hata ukifanya the right things na unaona hata the right things haziwai onekana, it's always they're poking at the mistakes kila saa, then you need to start to get to stepping. Okay, you get to stepping, because it's just a matter of time before your self-esteem starts getting affected, and it's going to take you more effort to fix your self-esteem. When you get on the wrong bus, you get off the bus quickly, because the farther you go, the more expensive it's going to be to come back. So be careful, my darling, be careful. Next, you find yourself having to compromise more than they do. So, of course, hakuna anybody who's perfect, hakuna any organization that is perfect, and sometimes enyewe inaweza bidi like meet halfway. Let's meet halfway on something. So if it's like every time you have to be the bigger person, then I'm sorry, you're being taken advantage of, and you need to get to stepping. Okay. Yeah, I think that I'll just leave it at that. I don't want this video to be too long again. When your heart and your mind can't agree, your heart usually knows that or sometimes it's your head that figured out fast, but your mind can't. Your mind has figured it out, and your heart can't bring you to leave, because this is a place you've been for such a long time. You love the employees, you love the people, but sometimes maybe the environment is not conducive, or sometimes it's just time for you to leave. And if you don't, it'll keep being uncomfortable until you leave. Okay, so what I'm saying is that sometimes your heart knows what to do and your mind is kind of not. Sorry, guys. Okay, well, let me wrap this up. What I was saying is that sometimes, especially if it's a thing where the heart knows but the mind doesn't know, utapata in a situation where you're being paid such high money and then you're being mistreated. So like logically, like, I'm making such good money, why should I leave? Unaona, the heart sometimes inaweza kuwa in the reverse of this, that first of all, you're being treated terribly and even the pay is not good, but like if you think about it, like, hey, sasa survive aje nini, like, and the situation sometimes can be different. So if the heart and mind can't agree, I think sit down and write the pros and cons list, and then remember, if the cons outweigh the pros, you need to get to stepping higher. Another point, the second last point, when you start asking your friends for their opinion about when you start asking your friends, we can just even leave it at that. If you need to now come and start asking your friends, what does it mean when my boss does this, when my colleague does this? You know the answer. You just want somebody to tell you it's okay to leave. Let me hold your hand. Nini, but you know what to do. You know what to do. Yo, girls gotta do what they gotta do. Yeah. So when you start having to ask an outside opinion, you just know you need to get to stepping. And the last points, guys, is when the consistency is not there, when the actions do not match the words. Sasa ingine wanakwambia tutakuongezea mshahara, unaona pesa inaenda ikiingia na mshahara yako iendi ikiongezeka. You need to get to stepping. Choose number one. Always put yourself first, because the organization will always put itself first. Yeah, so that's how you know you leave a job. Of course, there's some other reasons, but for me, I just have come to the place of realizing you don't leave to work. Hiyo kitu inanikoroganga sana. Do you work to live or live to work? You live to work? No, that then means you work all the time. I just feel like there's more to life generally than just working. There's more to life. So just make sure that there's a good balance, or at least you enjoy what you do and you're being treated fairly. Usiache people, don't roll over and let them fuck you. Like, at least be the one who's doing the action, or at least be in a consensual two-way thing, but don't roll over and let somebody just take advantage of you. All right, that being said, I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I'll see you on the next one for sure. I think that was maybe I said a bit of tough things there, some tough love, but honestly, I've said what I've said, and that's on that. I'll see you on the next one. Let me just quickly finish my makeup. Bye. I love you.